Welcome to today's interview, Butterfly Wealth Creation interview with Mr. Steve Conley. Today we're going to be talking about the meaning of money in life. My name is Lavinia D. Osbourne, founder and director of Butterfly Wealth Creation, a holistic personal finance and empowerment consultancy. Good morning, Steve. How are you?
Good morning, Lavinia. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm brilliant. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us or to join me on this interview.
You're more than welcome.
I'm really excited about talking to you about AoLP, as there's been so many changes in the financial industry, the personal finance industry, financial industry on a whole. And I think what you are bringing to the table, what you're bringing to the industry, is different, and it just puts a human face on the industry, so to speak.
It does, yeah. It's just what's needed, I think.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as the saying goes, everything has its time.
Yeah.
Okay, so my first question for you, I have a number of questions for you, but before we do that, can you tell me a little bit about yourself, Steve?
Yeah, so Steve Conley. I've been a proposition architect, is what they call it, for the financial services industry for about 30 years. What that means is that for the banks, for insurance companies, for intermediaries, I've been creating great business propositions, great services, great products, and I've been doing that for 30 years. My last role, I was at HSBC. I was there for 5 years, head of investments for HSBC for the UK. I was looking after the brands of HSBC across the UK, First Direct and M&S Money. So I was responsible for all the investments and pension propositions for the banks. I had previous roles with Royal Bank of Scotland Group, which is RBS, NatWest, Tesco Personal Finance, Direct Line and Churchill. And also, again, a similar role at Santander, which was Abbey, or was Abbey National, James Hay, Cater Allen. So lots of different brands in the industry. And I've been creating great products, great services for them over 30 years.
And also, didn't you create a platform for pensions, was it?
Yeah, well, what it was is it's called a Wrap platform. It's a fabulous service. Now it's used by everybody in the UK, and I introduced it to the UK back in 2003 when it was called the Abbey Wrap. It was the first single provider Wrap platform in the UK, and I was head of Wrap development. So I launched it. Basically, this is a platform, an online platform, where today everybody can arrange their investments and pensions and ISAs all online, a touch of a button, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They can put transactions through instantly. They can instantly see the valuations. Prior to that, everyone was having to write away to the insurance companies or to the ISA providers to get valuations, and it took weeks, to get a valuation. It was just completely unserviceable. So what I created was a serviceable environment. And today, everybody's ISAs, stocks and shares ISAs and funds and pensions, they're all done on these Wrap platforms. So that gives you an idea of the type of initiative I'd launch and the kind of influence I would have on the market. Like I say, now everyone's doing it. I did something similar with investments a couple of years later. The type of investments that everyone has now called multi-asset, retail multi-asset funds. Again, I was the first one to launch those in the UK. And now everyone's doing it in that way. So I was quite significant contributor to the industry over the last decade in particular.
Wow, it's amazing, Steve. You have a great repertoire and a great experience. Yeah. So tell us about AoLP. What is AoLP?
Yeah, so I guess to know what AoLP is, I'll just tell you kind of why I changed. From being, climbing up the corporate ladder to the top of the industry, and why I suddenly gave that up to launch AoLP. And it's actually the influence for me was Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, he said that a great business proposition isn't just about services and products. It's also about people. He termed it hardware, software, peopleware. So the challenge for me, like I said, influenced great services in the market with wrap platforms, great products with retail multi-asset funds. But the remaining challenge, the big challenge for the industry, even to today, remains people. The banking sector, the financial advisors, the surveys are showing them that as the least trusted, have been showing them now for the last few years, least trusted of all industries. So there's a breakdown of relationship of trust and confidence between the bank advisor or the financial advisor and the public. And you can have all the great products, all the great services in the world, but if you haven't got that trust and that trusted relationship, then it all counts for nothing, which is the situation at the moment. So I asked the banks to focus on people and deliver great relationships. So actually, instead of treating the product as a center of the conversation, treat the person as at the center of the conversation. Treat the customer as the client, not their money.
Yeah.
So I showed them a way. I worked with a chap called George Kinder of the Kinder Institute of Life Planning, because I believe his techniques help create that relationship of trust, put the client at the center. So I tried to introduce the life planning approach into the banks, but they were having none of it. But I saw, without great peopleware, the industry isn't going to work. It's just not going to happen. And we've seen that because since I left the banks 2 years ago, that very quickly followed with about 10,000 financial advisors across the UK being made redundant by the banks.
Wow.
Because their models no longer worked. People weren't going to buy, they weren't going to pay the fees. That just wasn't going to happen. So it's really important that a new model emerges, a model that places the client at the center of the conversation, not their money. It's all about working out what a great life would be for the individual, and then using all your products and services and knowledge to enable people to live that meaningful life. That wasn't going to happen at the banks. That wasn't going to happen at the insurance companies. That still isn't happening across the industry. So the only choice I had is to sacrifice everything, like I say, top of the career ladder, my career, everything, and put it all on the line and say, look, I believe in this so much, I'm putting it all on the line as a new business, which is the Academy of Life Planning, which is a new way, new concept, puts the client at the center. I have a kind of a philosophy. It's right to do right, and the circumstances, what is right is to have this trusted relationship, have the advisor or the coach serving the individual and enabling them to have a great life. I think that's really what it should be all about.
I mean, that is so powerful, Steve, and it's, when you have a big dream, a big mission, a big purpose, it does take a lot of sacrifice, and the fact that you've achieved so much already in your career, initiated so many great projects that are still ongoing and the whole of the industry using it, to sacrifice that in order to create the Academy of Life Planning, to put it in your words, to put the client at the center of the conversation rather than the product. It just goes to show how powerful you believe this new concept is and the difference it can bring to the industry and, more importantly, to the public, to the consumer. So that's amazing. So can you tell me, what exactly does the Academy of Life Planning deliver?
Yeah, so there is a second aspect to the Academy. We not only deliver this conversation, we deliver this conversation to the people who have been abandoned by the banks, the orphaned clients, the insurance company call them, the underserved, I call them. What's happened is, as a result of all those advisors going, the banks now won't give advice to anybody unless they have £150,000 or more in investments. And if you go to a financial advisor, they say, actually, we're the same. We're really looking for 50, 60 clients who are wealthy, and we focus our practice on that. So if you have less than 150,000, which is actually 9 out of 10 people, 90% of the population have less than £150,000 in investments. So if you have less than that, so if you're one of the 9 in 10, there's nowhere to go for financial advice. The banks websites will point you to the money advisory service. I'll tell you to go and find an IFA, but as I said, you can't find an IFA if you've got less than 150,000. The money advisory service, they're really 9 out of 10 of their inquiries is about debt. You can't really have a conversation about savings and investments with them. And it's all about the numbers anyway. It's nothing, again, it comes back to that same problem. It's not about the money, it's about you, it's about the individual. So what the Academy does is we serve the underserved. So we are for the 9 out of 10. And what we do is deliver the financial help, the coaching, the tutoring. We deliver it on a personal tutor basis, personal, like a personal trainer, like a personal fitness trainer. We work with a client on a one-on-one basis. We work in groups. We do group training, so we run seminars, we run workshops. We go into workplaces. We do workplace education, because if someone has financial difficulties at work, that can really affect productivity, absenteeism. People might even want to leave a job they enjoy just to get more pay to make ends meet. It's a real shame. So we work there too. And lastly, what we do is we provide tools. So we hire out tools that people might need to manage their own money. So we want to empower people to be in control of their own finances. The ones that don't have access to financial advisors, who are left to their own devices to do it themselves, we provide training to them, and we provide it at affordable pricing. So the way we do that is everything we do, we try to do for under £100. So that might be an hour of coaching, it might be a full day workshop. You can hire our tools for £30 a month. So we're really about trying to deliver affordable support and assistance to the underserved people. That's what we're about.
Fantastic. And the reason why I wanted to interview you today, for those who are watching, listening to this interview, is because it really aligns with what Butterfly Wealth Creation is about, the holistic element, financial education, and of course financial planning. And that's one of the 2 prongs of the Academy of Life Planning.
It is. Education
and planning, right?
Yeah, it's about life planning and financial education. So what we do is it's nothing to do with products. We don't sell any products or anything. This is about the individual, about educating the individual. There's an old proverb that says, teach a man to fish and you feed him for life. If you give a man a fish, you just feed him for a day. So our concept is, let's equip people, let's enable people, the underserved, to be in control, to not need a financial advisor, to not have to go to the money advisory service to hear all about the numbers. Let's show people in a brief intervention how to do it themselves.
Yeah, how to become their own best financial advisor, how to master their money and feel more empowered with their relationship with money.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which goes on to my next question. So how do you, just for those who are listening, what do you mean by the term meaning of money and life?
Yeah, so I'll split that down into the meaningful life. This is, often we go through life on a treadmill of work existence, like, in a hamster wheel, really. Thinking, worrying, stressing, just thinking about day-to-day life and pressures. And we don't stop to think, actually, what's this all for? So what a meaningful life, how that happens is when we stop and allow ourselves the time to contemplate, actually, what do I want to do with my life? What would be purposeful? What does it mean? What do I need to do today so that I don't, when I get to the end of my life, look back and have regrets? I didn't do this. I didn't do this with the family. I didn't do this this business idea that I had. I never got to do it. I just had to work on my treadmill of work existence to pay the high mortgage, to get a nice pension, I missed that opportunity. So what we're trying to do is stop people in a moment and ask them to listen to their inner voice, tell them what a purposeful life would be, because that's what we need to plan, and that's called a meaningful life. Then when we have that, when we have, well, I want to spend more time with my family, I want to be in this place, I want to make a contribution to the community, I want to do these things, these are really important, I want a legacy, I want to leave a legacy. Say, yeah, we can do all that, we've looked at your finances and we can organize your finances so that you can do that. So then we get onto the money. Money is a great enabler. It enables the meaningful life. It enables us to do things. We live in a material world. Everything around us, everything you see, everything tangible, that can be bought with money. So money is absolutely crucial. But people, what happens is people get confused between money and the thought about money. There are two different things. The money itself is just tangible bits of paper or dots on a computer screen. They kind of don't mean anything at all. The thought about money is what's going on in our mind, and this is the problem. This is what we need to master. We need to, in order to master money, we need to master these thoughts, and we need to be skillful in the way we think about money. So we really need to train people to be skillful in how they think about money, so that it can be arranged in like an architecture to support the meaningful life. And that then gives, it sort of brings together the two worlds, the worlds of meaning, the worlds of money, brings them together, and the lasting contentment is delivered when these two meet. When we navigate that path, our inner compass is telling us the path. If we can manage our means so that we can stay on that track, that path of purpose, then that gives us lasting contentment. So that's where the two come together, and that's what we're trying to deliver.
Sounds great. Sounds great. And like I said, it really aligns with what Butterfly Wealth Creation is all about. So my next question is, how do you think this is going to impact? What difference do you hope it will make to society, and not just the public, but also the industry on a whole?
Okay. So let's start with an individual. So for them, it would enable them to be conscious of, they know themselves, they're conscious of what that is, and their daily decisions are they're making, the wrestling with this is who I want to be, and as a result of that, they're living the meaningful life. It's not necessarily a happy life. You're happy sometimes, you're sad sometimes, it's an emotional life, but it's meaningful, and you have lasting contentment and peace. So it's a material life, and we're supporting this material life with meaning. So that's one person. The Academy's ambition is to help 10,000 people over the next 3 years. So we would like a community of people across the UK or beyond to have this meaningful life. What happens as a result of the meaningful life, people start to create their own businesses, become artists. They take the awaken, they take that step off the treadmill and start to do something really important in the world. And if you can imagine a group of 10,000 people doing something really important in the world, that's going to make a great difference to the economy. It'll make a great difference to the communities these individuals serve, and society in general. So there's a huge, through people themselves going through this, there'll be a huge uplift in productivity for the markets, an uplift in contribution to communities. We say in the Academy we have a triple bottom line. The triple bottom line is most companies have a bottom line of profit. We have a triple bottom line. We call it profit, people, and planet. Not just about profit, and we're about different people. We are at the center of everything, and the planet, the impact we have. So there's a global perspective to this, and what if we can do that with 10,000? We think other firms will take notice, maybe even the banks, other advice firms, and people in government might take notice and start to realize you have to put the individual at the center of the conversation. We have to move people from the material life to the meaningful life, supported by materialism. If we have that happening by other firms as well, so we're trying to collaborate with other firms and get them to take notice of the model that we have and use it. We don't mind competition. That creates a market, and that's what I've done in the past with wrap platforms. I wasn't worried that I had competitors because that would create market, and it has done. Everyone's now using it. So if everyone was using this, could you imagine the scale of that in society? I mean, what I was doing at HSBC is HSBC serves 500 million people globally. Bank with HSBC.
Wow.
So I was when I was there, trying to change the bank's relationship with 500 million people out of a global population of 7 billion. That's a significant proportion of the population. If we could make a change like that, that would be huge. It's possible. It's potentially possible. And that would restore trust and confidence in the financial services industry, which is lacking it because people in the financial services industry have traditionally been just focusing on the products and on the single bottom line of profit.
That's amazing, and I really loved the triple P of profit, people, planet, because we don't look after our planet, then there will be no people and there will be no profit. So it is hand in hand, and you are talking about the bigger picture, and this is the bigger picture. So I mean, obviously I know about the Academy of Life Planning. You and I have been talking about it for a while, but just listening to you explain it again for my listeners and for any of you who are watching, it just really stirs up that passion inside of me about what you're doing and how we can help you as an individual and also as a financial practitioner of financial planning and financial education in a holistic way. Really just makes me feel more gung-ho, enthusiastic and passionate about what you're putting forward, and I'm really pleased and happy to be part of it as well. So,
well, exactly. So Lavinia, Butterfly Wealth Creation is an example of a firm that practices this model. So if every money coach on the planet is doing what you were doing, then we would be there.
We'll definitely be getting there anyhow. And I'm all about making the impossible possible. If you have a dream, everything starts with a vision, something from within, and then we manifest it into the open space, into the physical world. And I think that it's more than possible, and I look forward to the day when we see it fully manifest into the vision that you have envisioned and put forward. Okay, so another question for you.
Yeah.
How can the public find out more about the Academy of Life Planning and attend your events? How does it work? What is the structure? How can people get involved?
Okay, so we welcome everybody to get involved. The public to come on the workshops, advisors to come and talk to us about how they might change their model, and coaches how they could become involved in the academy. It's open to everybody. We want to be having conversations with everybody, and how they find out in the first instance is to go onto our website, which is www.aolp.co. So that's aolp.co. Stands for Academy of Life Planning. So they go. That's the first instance. Where you then go if you want to find out about our events is an events tab. You just click on there and you'll see when the latest event is near you, the next event. You can go on there. What we do is we run a free seminar so people can come and try us, test us, ask us questions, and if they like it, then they can book up for some of the services. And one of the services we have on there is membership. It's only £1.99 per month to be a member, and if you click on there, and then you could hang out with us receive newsletters, you can email us questions, you can just become involved, become part of your journey. We provide a lot of the services there for free, so you'll find a lot of freebies there, and a lot of services actually for less than £10. So, but yeah, it's worth having a look, whether you're a member of the public, whether you're one of the underserved that hasn't got access to a financial advisor, or whether you're a financial advisor that's waking up to the fact that the person is most important, and they need to be put in the centre of the conversation, but you don't know quite how to go about it, then do get in touch. We can help you change your business model. We can work with you, and again, it's affordable for you too, and we'd help you change your model. So yeah, visit the website, Lavinia. That's the answer.
Okay, great. All right, and when is your? I mean, you've just recently launched. That's correct, right?
Yes, we started in earnest. Although the company's been registered for a couple of years now, the focus of the company, we're trying to do trying to influence other major projects in the world, but the focus on this, on the seminars, workshops, and everything, has just been going since August. Our first seminar is in Harrogate tomorrow. And that's at the Crown Hotel on the 21st of October. The next one is in Basildon, and we're in Basildon on the 10th of November, and there'll be just more workshops. Just go on the website, keep track of when the workshop is, and when there's one near you. Is that okay, Lavinia?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can now, yes.
Okay, apologies, the technical issues there. So the first one is tomorrow, and there's another one on in Basildon, and that's Essex, correct?
It is in Essex, yeah. We have planners. We have planners in Essex, in London, in Yorkshire, and in Lancashire. We're looking for planners all over the country to join us, so that we can bring this really to everybody.
Yeah, excellent. All right. Well, thank you for your time, Steve. And again, well, congratulations on launching and having your first event tomorrow. And I look forward to working with you and seeing how AoLP makes that difference and expands into the marketplace.
Thanks very much, Lavinia. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Excellent. All right. Well, we'll speak again soon. And until next time, to your wealth.
Thanks very much. Bye now.